Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is episode 3 of the Artisan of Glimmith. We're doing a playthrough, mostly blind. I've seen a couple puzzles solved, but most of the puzzles I'm solving, I have not. These are all brand new to me. So this is my approach to it. So let's jump into it. We've solved 28 so far. And if you're not familiar with this game, it is a logic puzzle game. And the goal is to solve these shaped puzzles. And as you complete puzzles, you complete windows. And we're currently working through this section. We've done 8 of the puzzles in this section so far. We got a lot to do. We just finished this one that was hidden back here. So I'm just going to keep walking around and looking through it. I will try to keep the rules, not assume that you've seen the rules so far. I'll try to explain the rules as we go along. But if you want to in-depth some of the rules, you can probably go back. Like shapes will be in episode 1, and the introduction to the rows windows was in episode 2. But anyways, we have to use the T-tetrominoes shapes. That's the only shapes we can do. And then each region has exactly one of these shapes in it, the circles in it. So we cannot we can essentially go around and separate all these. These all have to be separate regions. We'll separate them like that. Now this does put a lot of pressure on this guy particularly. And the reason I'm saying that is, where does this region grow? Can it grow down? And I'm going to say no, it can't. Because how do you make a T that doesn't go across here? You can't go in there. It can't. So this is the end of the T. So this is going to grow like this. And I think that's going to get us a very nice start. I don't know why it drew a line there. These are together. There we go. So let's look at this one. Comes down. It has to come down because the region has to grow. It can't go left or right, and it needs to be in the shape of a T. So that T could go down and extend this way, or it could go left and right. Either way, it does have to go into here. I don't know which way it grows, so we're gonna come back to that one. Let's look at this guy. This guy, or I guess we should look here. How does this grow? This is a T, right? So this is just kind of a forced shape. That's the only way you're going to get a T in there. This is going to be similar. I can do this way. I can't do a T vertically, so it's going to have to be horizontal. And so that will be that. All right. Let's make this a T. That has to grow like this. It's the only way you're going to get a T down here. Forced. This one. Only way you're going to get a T is like that. And look what we've done here. This is a dead end, folks. This has to grow up like that. All right. Let's connect that together. I can see it finishing out. We need a T here. And we need a T here. That's it. Let's move on. Keep our eye. They like to hide these puzzles. You got to keep looking around. There's some like perspective puzzles as well. Okay, each region must be a 2x4. It also can be a 4x2. So we can do it like this, or we can do it like this. Either way is acceptable. And we have to have each region has to have a circle in it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which tells me this should be a 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Because we have to put exactly 6, 8 cell pieces in. All right. So this is a really good question. I can pretty much just go around every corner. And those are regions. Just like that. I hope that's pretty obvious to understand. Is this cell has to be part of a region. And it has to either be a 2x4 up or it has to be a 4x2 left. And either way, it's taking these 4 squares. And that logic is symmetrical across all 4. So the question is, can this grow up? And the answer is no, because we already have a circle. So this is going to grow that direction. I guess we could just do it like that. So that piece is done. And does that just kind of force? I think this is forcing the whole thing because once we know these have to be divided horizontally. No, I don't think that's true. That's not true. This still could go up and down. We have to at least have one horizontal in each section, but it doesn't have to be across the board. So let's think about this. This is I mean, these 2x2s are definitely good. The question is, do these go with it or not? I don't know. I don't know. This one could grow to the left. It could grow down. Well, here's a question. Where does this one get its circle from? And it can't get its circle over here. It didn't get a circle. So that shape is the valid shape. There's no circle. So it does have to grow this way to get a circle. So that gives us that shape. So this is a new region. It's not part of this region, it's not part of that region. So this region here, I'm gonna ask that same question. Where does this region get its circle? And it can't go up that way. I hope you guys realize it has to be a 2x2, right? Because anytime this is a new region, it's the same logic we did for the other corners. There's no circle up here, so we have to expand out this way. So that's not a, and that has to be a region. And so now I think we're kind of in a forced situation, because this region must grow out that way. This region must grow out that way. And etc., etc., etc. All right. By the way, if I need to say this at the beginning of every puzzle, all puzzles are unique, all solutions are unique, and all solutions can be arrived at using pure logic, deductive reasoning. Does not require guessing. All right, so 2 restrictions, 2 rules. We have everything has to be in an L tetronymal shape, and every region has to have exactly one of each symbol. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shapes. And we have 7 squares as well. 7 circles, 7 squares. So we have 7 regions, and they're all going to be L-shaped. Well, let's just start with this part. We know that every edge has to be at least 2 long. So those are all going to be 3 regions here. I don't know if they go up. I don't know if they go down. I don't know if it's a long L, a short L. We'll figure that all out. But it does beg the question of, what do I do with this? I can't connect to here. This region cannot connect to this yellow region right here. And you would say, well, I could make an L there, but you can't, because we already have a circle there. So this is actually its own region. This has to be its own region. It can't be the L, and it can't be there. So this is the 2 section of the L. It's the short leg. So the long leg has to go like that. And that is our first region completed. So that puts pressure on the yellow. So it's going to have to be made like this. That puts pressure on this one. It has to come down, and it's not going to be able to go out that way. Why do you make me? I'm just trying to demonstrate for the folks. I'm not trying to do it. I'm just trying to do it as an example. Don't make me complete regions when I'm just demonstrating it. All right. This has to come down. That has to come down. It could come down to the left. It could come down that way. We'll come back to it. All right, this corner right here. The corners are interesting. Could this go up and over? Maybe. Could it come up and down? No. So that's a really good question. Can these 2 be in the same region? Can that be part of a region? And I think the answer is going to be no. But maybe not. It would be like, if that was the region, it would have to be like this. That's actually doable. That actually might be right. So maybe the question is, can that be a region? And if it is, I think the answer is no. If these 2 are together, this is the short leg of the L. We could extend it out this way, but I'm missing the blue piece. So that's easy. We just extend it this way. But no, now I have 2 circles. So these are not in the same region. These are separate regions here. I guess it's better just to separate. And as soon as this is a separate region, it comes out like this. And it is not going to be, it's not an L that direction, that's for sure. So it's going to have to connect to that one going up. And so that is going to force that issue. And looking at that, that's going to force this issue and that issue, just like that. Oh, there's a hidden one down here. Let's do the hidden one when we can see it. All right, so a rose window, we can do any shape we want, but let's see how many shapes we have. Let's count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shapes. 6 shapes. All right, so let's start with the obvious. All of these are shapes. Now, these are not necessarily distinct shapes. I can say these 4 are distinct. They all contain a square. These 3 are distinct. They all contain a circle, and that one. These 2 are distinct, and these 4, because they all have a triangle. So let's, this triangle is very, oh my goodness, that's very constrained. This one is not part of this region, and it's not part of that region, so it's got to get out. This still needs a square. So it's got to get out. So there's 2 squares remaining, so it's got to get out. This still needs a square, and it can't go up. So this is not part of that. This is not part of that. These are not part of that. This still needs a circle, and it can't go that direction. So it's got to come up this way. Interesting. Okay. Okay. This has a square. This still needs a triangle. One, two, three, four, five. So one of these, which of these could connect to each other? There's 3 shapes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. I counted this one, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, each of these are separate. There's no way. There's only 3 shapes, and these all have 2 shapes in them. So this is missing a triangle. So it either needs to get to this triangle or it needs to get to this triangle. I deep down, my gut tells me it has to be this triangle, because if it was getting to this triangle, it's going to do some kind of crazy, roundabout way to get here. And I think that's going to cause trouble for something else, but maybe not. Who else needs a triangle? This guy needs a triangle. Okay, yeah. This is a way to think about it. This needs a triangle and this needs a triangle. If this one were to take this triangle and this one were to take this triangle, no matter how you drew these shapes, we're going to cross the lines. Like, there's no way to round about each other. We can't go above and around. There's no way to get around the outside to get here. We're forced to go through the middle, both directions. So this one will take this triangle and this one will take this triangle. So these are the same. I'm guessing I could just draw that down there. I mean, I don't know how to mark that, but that does have to go there. This is missing a circle. That's missing a circle. So it seems pretty obvious that this circle, I mean, I'd say that it may not. We may need this one to come get this circle and this one to come get that circle. I could see that happening where we have to do some kind of wraparounds here. All right. I like this. This is we're having to go back to first principles here. Let's go back to first principles. If we just close this off, what does that do? That forces us to this circle, if we put this circle with this one and this circle with this one, how do I get to this circle? And the answer is there. I could go up and around, but no matter what I do, I can't go around this square. And I think this is the key piece here. I can't go up and around it. So I have to go underneath it. And I can, no matter how I do this, I create, like, even if I mean, I could make this as straightforward, as roundabout, but whatever I do, I block this path to get to either of these squares. And there's no way to stop that. There's absolutely no way to stop that because I cannot go around because this path is blocking it. So that is not like this one. I have to take this. This one has to go here somehow. I wish I could mark like this is the same. Like blue, like this is blue. Like this has to, it's not yellow. Like this is not the same. This is not the same. And as soon as I say that, this has to come out and it's not going to take this. It's got to come down. This has got to come down. This is grabbing that. We know this one has to go with that. And no matter what, this is going to grab. Now, maybe it needs to take some more out here. I don't know, but we have to start with that. I see what has to happen. I'm trying to articulate it with logic. All right, this guy has to get down to here. It's going to go around. This is what's important. It's going on top of the square, which does not prevent this from getting to the square. These two have to go together. I think that's pretty obvious, but let me just spell it out. If this one were to take this somehow, then this one cannot get over to this square. The only way this would be allowed is if I could go around the square and then this one can come, or if this one can go around, but neither can go around. So this one will take that one. So, you know, if I went the optimal route, it's going to be something like this, but I don't want to just draw that. That is how it's going to be, but I don't want it to force that. But anyways, this one is green. Let's mark it as green. It goes to this down here. All right, so this yellow goes with this yellow. And okay, and this is where we go to. This has to connect to here. It's the only triangle left. And it can't block this green from getting to this square. So this green is with that square. Let's change that to a red. Let's make those are together. So somehow they connect. Now this yellow does not take that red. So this yellow extends, which means this red extends, and that at least is a minimum of what it does. This yellow must extend. And it must get to here. So this yellow has to extend. It has to go around and it has to come down. It has to do that. What's wrong with this color here? It's not connected somehow. I had two different colors. Okay. It was correct. The game just I didn't tell it that it was connected here. All right. That is forced. This has to come down. And this has to come up. So I hope that made sense how we arrived at that. I hope that logic was clear enough to get there. Again, it's not just getting the answers. It's not just getting the answers. It's getting the logic that gets us to the answers. That's so. I'm sure you can go look up and find solutions to any puzzle you want. Who cares? Who cares what the solution? The fun is not in getting the answer. The fun is the logic to get to the answer. And I hope that's That's well appreciated. All right, we got 4 of each shape, so we need 4 regions. We can go ahead and divide. Those are not together. This guy's very constrained because he's not going out that way, so he can only go left and right, and he's going to take one of these diamonds and then blocked off the other way. So he could come out this way. I mean, something like that. Again, we're not gonna just brute force our way through this. All right, now where do we go? This is interesting here. So this guy has to come out and has to come up. That's forced. That is forced. So this is a region here, which means this one has to come out and come up. Also forced. So let's say, for example, this goes this direction and comes into here. That's fine and all, but no matter what, it can't go down. These are 2 separate regions. And let's just click on this. Give me some random colors here. I want all the colors. All. Can I just say, I want you to pick from all the colors? There we go. So my question here is, it doesn't matter if I go here or not. Even if I go all the way to here, I can't go up, I can't go down, and I have not completed my color set. So regardless of which way I go, I do have to go up. I do have to take this diamond and claim it. So 2 diamonds and 2 triangles are claimed now. It does put pressure on this blue because this blue is either part of. I think this is a good place to go. This shape needs a circle and it needs a square. I can get the circle here, and that's dead-ended. I can get the square here, and that's dead-ended. So I have to take one of these 2 squares, and I have to take this circle. This circle is taken. I'm just going to go ahead and draw that up to there. That's a region of some kind. So here's the question: does this purple region, does it take this square, or does it take that square? And I believe the answer is going to be this square, but I don't want to jump there just yet. The reason I think it's going to be this, because I think it puts, if I take this one, maybe it works. I don't know. This would have to go up this way. It's all possible. It's all possible. We're not going to do it by force. We're lodging it out, folks. We're logicking it. That's a word. All right. Do we go up in here? No. I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Can I prove it, though? If I go up in here, it forces this to go this direction. And then that's the problem. Okay. Here's the question. Where does this triangle get its square? There's only 4 squares, and they are all up here. And here's regardless of which one I go for, I've got to go through this square. And let me see if I can explain that. If I go up, if I came from here and up and around, I can take this, that's fine. But then I get to here and I hit a second triangle. That breaks the rule. So this does not work. So I'm going to have to come up and around. I'm going to have to come out, and I have to come up, which means I'm not this direction. I am this direction. It doesn't mean this is done. It also means this has to go up. I have to grab one of these 2. And I've got to grab one of these squares. Again, I don't know which one yet. So let's put a pin in that. Let's jump over to this diamond. This is a new region, and it has to keep expanding. It has to keep expanding, and it's complete. That's it. Let's come back to here. We still need a square. That's where we get it. Now we can say that's where we get this one. And that's where we get this one. I like that puzzle. I like that one a lot. And we got our window completed with that. Very nice. Let's come over here and do this one. All right, rose windows. So we need 3 shapes that each have each of one of these. All right, so let's start with dividing these up. These are separate regions. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. Let's we don't know what that one does. We don't know what either of these do, but they go in and out somehow. So this is going to have to grow. It has to grow, so it has to take this. It has to grow again, so it has to come down. This one has to grow. By the way, let's go ahead and finish that. And this has to grow. It has to come down, which means this one comes down. This has to grow. It's not this color. It is one of these other colors. It'll join here in a minute. This one has to grow. This one has to grow. This one has to grow. This one has to grow all the way. This one has to grow. And so these all take their various colors. This has to grow. This has to grow. This has to grow. I think I messed up here something. I think I got oh, maybe I didn't. This is complete, isn't it? That one's complete. Well, I know it's complete, but this is going to come down here like this and connect. And I like the purple better. Let's go that direction. And I like the blue. And that's it. I was thinking this one had to connect to here. I was like, no, it comes down here. Like, I was doing the logic right. Okay. Very fun. I think I was supposed to do these earlier. I think I've been not doing these quite in the right order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions. Again, I like coming out. These have to come out like this. This cannot be the same region, so it's going to grow down. It still needs to grow, so it comes out. Not the same region, not the same region. It keeps growing. Does have all of its elements here, so this region does not need to grow anymore, but this is a new region. It must grow, cannot go up, cannot go to the right, grows down, so it comes over here. That is a region. Let's turn that blue. That is not part of the, yep, that's forced. All right, this comes up. I don't know if it goes left or right. We'll figure that out. This comes over, and it's going to need a circle still. There's no way it's getting to this circle. It's going to have to take this circle. I think that's pretty obvious. Like, there's no way to get from here. Let me back up. I'm saying things are obvious, but I need a circle. There's a circle here, but why could I not take this circle or this circle? And the answer is I can't get to this circle because I'm hemmed in by 2 triangles. I already have a triangle. I can't get to this circle because I either got to go through this triangle, or I've got to get through this square, or I've got to hit this region. And I already have all of those. So this is the circle I need. That's the way to get there, no matter how it is done. Now, it could expand other directions. This, not in the same region. This is going to go this way. I still need a triangle. It could go here. It could go there. But if it went here, this could never get there. So it's like that. That's that one. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 regions. That doesn't go together. That doesn't go together. So let's start drawing our regions. Yep, that has to go. That's a minimum. Let's see what else we can do. This needs to grow. It doesn't have to go up, but it does have to go down, because if it went up, it could take that one, but it can't go anymore. It still needs a triangle, so it still has to keep growing, and it can't grow past here. So it has to grow here at a minimum. This one has to grow. It can't grow up, so it grows down. It can't grow down. It can't grow down. All right, I have made a blunder here, folks. Let's back up. There's some logical blundering. Let me see how far back I go. I made a logical leap in assumption here. As soon as I see a contradiction like that, I have a fundamental flawed thinking. All right, this comes down, this comes up. They still have to grow. They have to grow up. They have to take that. All right, this continues to grow, comes up, cannot grow here. This continues to grow, cannot go there. That region complete. This must continue to grow. This must continue to grow. But it can't grow down. Oh, these could be the same region. That was my logic problem. They both need to grow into the middle. They both need to grow into the middle. This has to grow in there. This still needs a circle. That has to go together. That works. That's the problem. All right, new region here. New region here. This cannot have a square, so this will grow down. Give me a different color there. Where are we growing? This is growing this direction. It does need a triangle. It could take it from here. It could take it from there. Seems like it should take it from here. Let's start with this circle. This circle could take this triangle, but it can't go into this square. So this has to go down, and now it can't go down anymore. So it does take that. So this has to grow, can't grow there. Yeah. That's it. Well, folks, I think this is a good place to stop. We've completed a few more puzzles. Again, I hope you enjoyed that. Hit that like button to show your support. Subscribe to get more notifications of this kind of stuff. Again, we have risk on the channel. We have some variety on the channel. Not stopping the risk, not exclusively doing one or the other, just trying to mix it up here, give people some other alternatives. One day maybe separate onto a separate channel, but for now, I'm small enough I can get away with just doing it like this. Anyways, I do hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.